Hey everyone, and welcome back to Trend Hero. Today we're going to be talking about the new allegations against Dan Bilzerian. Make sure you stay until the end so you don't miss out on the latest problems this party-hard playboy is facing. You'll be absolutely shocked. Dan Bilzerian's story and who he is. Dan Bilzerian is a name that has been a fresh topic of news in recent years, but not quite the way he would prefer. Dan Bilzerian is a famed poker player / entrepreneur. He's well known on Instagram, where he's known as the King of Instagram. If you look at his account, he has millions of followers and posts tons of photos of a life of pure luxury. You'll see bikini-clad models, expensive alcohols, and trips that must have cost thousands of dollars. Dan Bilzerian is the pinnacle of wealth and hedonism. He loves to have a good time, which sounds innocent, but he turned that into something bad by overdoing it and sinking his company, Ignite. His Instagram may show him enjoying his life of worry-free vacations, but what it hides is something dark and shady.
It's time we talk about King Doofus himself, Dan Bilzerian, and his god-awful company, Ignite, again, because things are much worse than I predicted that they would be, which is hard to imagine because I had some really rough things to say about this company and this guy, but it seems, based on the latest financials they just published, it is much worse.
We're now selling CBD gummies. The orange ones are fucking amazing. They're up on the site. Check them out. 25% off everything.
In fact, I'm about to show you they're literally out of cash again. So unless Mr. Bilzerian is going to put another $25 million into the company, they're out of cash. Nothing is going to save this company apart from the Bilzerians putting more cash into the sinking boat.
The reason for his fame may not exactly be a good one. Let's take a deeper look at this story. The fraud taking place within Ignite. The company that specializes in CBD oils but also sells vodka, water bottles, electronic cigarettes, and even clothing, Ignite was founded in 2017 by Dan Bilzerian himself. Dan wanted the company to be a premium lifestyle brand, and it seemed that they were going in the right direction. Ignite's available in several different countries, including the US, Canada, the UK, Mexico, and many other countries as well. It seemed as though Dan Bilzerian actually invested and built something quite promising, but he ruined it all thanks to his love of spending money. Dan was able to earn money with the company, but in 2019 they lost a total of around $50 million, which prevented them from being able to turn a profit. The loss came as a shock once the claim was released to the public. Ignite gets money mostly from stock sales, investors, and loans. This money obviously wasn't put into good use, seeing as how Dan spent it like it was in a trust fund. So, how did he spend it? Well, if you look at his Instagram account, you'll be able to see that this company loves to party, and their parties are huge. It would easily round up a bill worth millions of dollars. Each party involves paid models, expensive liqueur, and huge mansions. That wasn't the only irresistible expenditure that Dan made through Ignite. Some employees have come out to give details about the shady business of Ignite, and one anonymous employee said that Dan Bilzerian will put the Ignite logo and name on anything he wants to spend money on, so the company would end up paying for it. In fact, he fired his vice president after he wouldn't approve of expenditures in the budget for things like a $15,000 ping pong table and a $40,000 rock climbing wall. These expenses were insane, and because they weren't approved of, the vice president of the company lost his job. Dan loves to show off his wealth, but the thing is the money even his? We know now that he spends the company's money in a highly irresponsible manner, and reports came out to show that he used Ignite's money to pay for yacht rentals, trips to London, and even laundry detergent, all for personal use. So, does his whole wealthy life revolve around fraud? How did Dan acquire his wealth through poker? He's been estimated to have a net worth of $100 million. Just how he gets that money is a bit mysterious. Dan is a well-known poker player and he loves to talk about his earnings. Well, kind of. Nobody's exactly sure about the winnings he has made through poker, although Dan has only won a televised event once. He was also part of the World Series of Poker in 2009, where he placed 180th and only made $36,000. That was nowhere near the millions of dollars he apparently has. When he was asked about how much money he made playing poker, he's not able to answer the question. A quick look on the web shows that he has apparently won $50 million playing the game, but he himself has claimed to be unsure of how much he has earned. So, how can we know for sure he is making money from poker? If you would like to take Dan Bilzerian's word for it, he supposedly makes his earnings through private cash games, but since it's not publicized, we can't know for sure. So this means he's good at poker, right? Again, we can't be so sure. According to a tweet from 2013, Dan claimed to have earned $10.8 million playing a game. He decided to take that earning and celebrate in Puerto Vallarta. The vacations and models and resorts are all public. But did he really make that money from poker? According to reports, Dan isn't all that great of a poker player, but he never claimed he was. He apparently has a skill for picking out the most lucrative private cash games. He does play with unprofessional players after all. He said of this, "I never wanted to be the guy on TV showing everyone how good I was. I wanted to be the guy everyone thought sucked. But I could play with the rich guys. It was the one thing in my life that wasn't about ego. It was about bank accounts." With that being said, we may have found some background on how Dan Bilzerian earns through strategy and not gameplay, yet we still can't be so sure about it. Another possible reason to his wealth is that he is a trust fund kid, but that is thanks to his father. And at a young age, Dan Bilzerian was exposed to both wealth and fraud. Interestingly enough, this became a pattern in his life during his adulthood. Let's take a look at his father to get a clearer picture. Paul Bilzerian, Dan Bilzerian's father. Paul Bilzerian is a businessman and corporate takeover specialist. He may not be the best role model for Dan, as he was in prison for 13 months following his arrest for fraud. He first was caught when he failed to make complete and timely filings for unsuccessful takeovers of 3 companies. This led to bankruptcy after he was ordered to disgorge his profits. He was also a part of a stock parking case, to further his list of fraudulent misdoings. He did have some wealth, which he put into trust funds for Dan and his brother. These trust funds may have been a big part of how Dan Bilzerian was able to live his life that he does now. So, was Dan's life built upon his dad's fraudulent earnings? It is quite possible. Paul Bilzerian wasn't just fraudulent in the past though. It is said that he might have been a part of a scandalous issue with Dan Bilzerian's company Ignite. According to the rumors, Paul Bilzerian is taking part in important Ignite meetings and making big financial decisions. The interesting part is that he is no longer legally allowed to run public businesses since he was convicted. So it could be that Paul Bilzerian's fraud has lasted longer than the public may have seen. And could it have played a major role in the Ignite fraud case? It is quite possible. And if this is all true, then it shows that Dan Bilzerian's money is all made by corrupt means. This would be a major breakthrough in the case of Dan Bilzerian's mysterious wealth if all of the allegations were found to be true. As for Paul's case, this could get him in major trouble. It would also be a further lie from Dan, since he claimed to only speak to his father 4 or 5 times a year. So, what other lies could be hiding? The bottom line. So to round it all off, we can only guess as to how Dan Bilzerian makes his fortune, but we do see that he is a fraud that has taken money from his company for his own personal use. He claims to make most of his money through playing poker, which we can't even be sure of either. So the biggest conclusion to be made is that he gets his money not only from a trust fund from his father, but also from his company Ignite. That is the epitome of shady, since the money was meant for the growth of the company. If he wanted a luxury brand, he wouldn't have spent the money he did. We see on his Instagram and social media that the Ignite logo is placed everywhere. This is just so that he can use the company's money to buy more luxury items and trips. The claims and statements have helped people come to the conclusion that Dan Bilzerian has lied about his wealth and has scammed his way into his earnings and his luxurious lifestyle, much like his father before him. With this, we may soon find out that he hasn't in fact won millions in poker, but instead lived off of his trust fund to help fuel his lavish lifestyle. While you're here, go ahead and click on one of these videos on your screen. See you there.